And we are live out here where a special sunrise remembrance ceremony will take place at 6:30 this morning. They're out here getting the final touches done, and we'll be chatting with some of the individuals involved in the proceedings throughout the morning. There were many events this weekend leading up to the 1 year, and we caught up with Shauna Bartlett. She is a survivor. She helped organize the Route 91 Reunion Remembrance event. For the past year, she's really stepped up to honor those who died and to help pull survivors together.
A huge country music fan, Shauna Bartlett and her friends secured the best spot to catch the last headliner of the night at the Route 91 Harvest Festival.
I was literally in the front.
Listening to Jason Aldean perform the song Any Old Bar Stool when the sounds of something else interrupted.
And I looked at my girlfriend that was with me and I was like, what was that? And she's like, I don't know. And then we heard it again. And I was like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden, that third one just came like that.
Shauna and her friends scramble on top of each other for protection.
Just hearing the bullets ricochet and all the people behind me screaming. And you can hear people saying, I'm shot, she's shot, he's shot. I can hear it. And I remember thinking to myself, I can't go anywhere because of all the people that were behind us. And nobody thought to jump that fence in front of you because it's a barrier. You can't jump that fence during the concert. Why would you think to jump it?
After the barrage of bullets stop, they run.
I remember calling my dad as I was running. And I called him and told him what was going on. And he started shooting again. And I told my dad, I said, Daddy, I gotta go. He's shooting again.
One of those bullets struck her friend Kaylee in the back. They eventually get her into an ambulance to safety.
There's a lot of things that I took for granted. And I think one of the biggest things that I stopped taking for granted is that tomorrow's never promised. And we all saw that firsthand that night.
Shauna decides 58 acts of kindness will be a fitting way to honor the 58 souls whose lives were taken. Her first recipient receives this pair of boots.
I had already read several women lost their boots or they were completely covered in blood. And I had this young girl, her name's Kayla Mills, and she told me her story, and she was shot that night. And I ended up sending her the boots to her. I still to this day have not met her. But we talked on Facebook, and I sent her boots, and she went to her first concert and wore those boots and sent me a picture and tagged me on Facebook.
Shauna documents these acts of kindness on social media, all while organizing events for survivors as well.
Before I knew it, I had people reaching out to me as a resource and as a support, and I just kind of took it and ran with it.
Several hundred turned out for this walk a week after 1 October. She also planned this gathering for survivors in January, and in February organizing this photo shoot at Nelson's Landing with 200 survivors.
I get messages every day from people saying thank you, and I personally won't be very honest with you. I don't feel like I've done anything.
Shauna received a big surprise when in April her boyfriend proposed to her at this concert. She met Steve and Katie through a survivor page.
It's definitely something that changes you.
Their bond developed out of a terrible misfortune.
But I've seen a lot of love come out of that.
It blossomed amid a loving community, healing one day at a time.
I've seen more love in the last 10.5 months than I've ever seen in my entire life.
She is also the vice president of a nonprofit called Love Wins. It began as a way to help survivors with various needs for their children. And we caught up with her on the day she and her fiance were moving to Minnesota. Shauna's lived here for 6 years. They met, they fell in love. She wanted to move there. She found a great job. But of course, she came back to be part of the 1 year reunion and said they couldn't focus on the wedding until after this weekend and today. So we will continue to follow her journey as well. She's very, very involved.
So many unique journeys after the tragedy.